We are taking a few minutes out of our busy, perhaps stressful day to ground and center ourselves in the truth of who we are as individuals and also as a racial consciousness. We obviously pray for healing, and we open ourselves up to the truth of the perfection of who we are. So take a few moments, first of all, just to breathe deeply. Breathe deeply. Soften your belly. As you breathe, you can feel that hardness around the lower chakras, abdominal area, where we were holding on to fear, tension, sometimes without even realizing it. And so we just breathe into that gently. We don't push, we don't force, we don't judge. Breathe, release. Breathe, release. Breathe, release. And as we consciously enter into this sacred space, knowing that this sacred space always exists, but we are not always conscious of it, as we consciously enter this sacred space, we become aware first of our physical bodies. Anything that's rocking around in there, anything that's seems or feels it's out of balance, calling for our attention. We simply gently become aware of that. Know that we are taking that along in our meditation this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening. We are not neglecting it, but we are not letting it control us as well. So we realize at this moment that we have a body, but we are not our body. We are more than that. And then we allow similar things to happen with our emotions. We take a step back from our emotions, from our feelings. We notice again whatever might be rocking around in there, what might be calling for our attention, what might be unhealed that is calling for healing. And we realize that we have feelings and emotions, but that's not who we are, nor do they define who we are. So as we take a gentle step back from them, we still take them with us into our meditation of healing, but we recognize that they do not define who we are. And then we allow a similar thing to happen with our thoughts, with our mind. Our thinking mind is always working. Many times creating problems that it thinks needs to be solved. From this often comes our fear, our doubt, our worry, and sometimes even our helplessness. And so we recognize that our mind, our thoughts, as powerful as they might be, are still a limited aspect of ourselves. They are not who we are. And so we take them along with us in this meditation, but we also release them. We let go of our attachment to their power and to their definition. You have a body, but you are not your body. You have feelings and emotions, but you are not your feelings, you are not your emotions. You have thoughts and you have a mind, but you are not your thoughts, you are not your mind. You are more than all of that. And as you sink into that deeper knowing, that deeper awareness, you are still aware of yourself as an individual. And at the same time, there is a sense of connectedness, of oneness with all beings, especially those who are focusing on this higher vibration of learning, of healing, of freedom. And perhaps that is a question we can ask ourselves. Am I free? And to know the answer is not a judgment, it's an observation, and probably a limited one at that. And so we would suggest not to struggle with that one, but ask the question and let the ramifications of that question and whatever answers come to you, let them come to you. And as you do, you can notice that there is an aspect of you sometimes referred to as the observer, which is letting you know what areas of your life you are free, what areas of your life you are unfree. Simply awareness. But what is quite interesting here is that the observer is not caught up in the distinction between freedom or unfreedom. It just is. It is awareness stretching itself into complete awareness. And you can come back to this anytime you wish. Our focus is healing. Jesus healed not by getting rid of sickness or disease so much, but by seeing in the perfection in those who came to him. And his vision of their perfection in body, mind, and emotions and spirit was so powerful that it overcame all of the negativity that any of these people might have been holding on to. All of the I ams, I am this, I am that, I am sick, I am broke, I am this, I am that. Jesus saw the I amness beyond all that. I see who you are. I know who you are in your perfection. And my vision of you in your perfection is so true and so anchored and so profound that it almost forces away any negativity you might be holding on to. And so imagine what it would be like to be seen, to be observed, to be looked upon as being whole and being perfect. Releasing all of your coulds and shoulds, releasing the past and the future, allowing yourself not only to be seen as being perfect, but allowing yourself to be embraced in unconditional love. And in the silence, take that in. Breathe it into your being. And imagine or feel or sense that this unconditional love, this perfection, begins to radiate from you, from your heart, from your eyes, from all of your being, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And as it flows from you, from every cell and fiber of your being, let it touch every being, especially those on this planet that are suffering at the moment, that are lost in their sense of imperfection or their sense of separateness. Let it radiate, let the perfection of you, the light that you are, the healing energy that you are, the love that you are, let it emanate from you like the sun shining on the earth, touching everyone and everything. And no matter how much or how far you radiate, nothing is lost. In fact, you are more and more empowered. You shine like the sun. You love like the Christ. You know deep, deep within your being the words of Jesus, "Be ye perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect." In other words, know your perfection as your Creator knows your perfection. And take all of this with you. Take all of this with you. Know that you can enter back into this sacred space anytime that you choose. Of course, it's not a great idea to do it when you're driving a car or needing to pay attention to something in the outside world. But when you get the opportunity, even if it's just for a brief moment, to breathe, to let Spirit walk with you, to let yourself walk with Spirit. Breathing, 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 stretching, stretching, stretching. And when you're ready to, in love and in gratitude, you can take another deep breath and open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you for being with us all. Thank you for your contribution to healing, to oneness, to perfection.